Good afternoon, everyone. Hey guys, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly market update for Wednesday, November the 15th. Get my days confused. I'm looking at the calendar and Thanksgiving is next week. I'm still can't believe the year is just flying by like it is. But happy Wednesday. Hope everybody is having a great week so far. The market has just been insane since the last video last week I did on Wednesday. And hope you got a chance to listen to that because what we talked about actually happened. And if you didn't go back and watch that video, but let me show you what I'm talking about here. Let's go. I've got the ES up here and let's start, 10-day chart. Okay, we were talking about how we were going to, we've been riding up and up and up and up and up and up and up. This is a 10-day chart. Actually, let me go to a 20-day chart here. There, 20-day chart. And 20 days, I don't know, was it 15 days ago? We were at 4,100 again. This is ES. And we ripped back up here, and then we kind of chop. Took a breath, came back down to our tree line here, and back up, and then we chop, digesting all the move. And right there is when CPI came out, and we got that huge gap up higher off the low down here. From the low to the high, it was almost 100 points. Really big move, giant move. For a daily move. We talked about that in the video from last week, and I was saying that, let me switch this over here. I was saying that it's easier to see right here. I was saying that we had come off this low, bounced, and we come back up in, these are 34 EMAs. Moving averages, and we come back up there, and I said this thing is most likely ahead of the CPI, is most likely going to come back down and touch these at least, and we did right there, or that one. These are different lines for different reasons. And then we sold off into it. I was trying to fade this thing because I thought it was going to give us a head fake like this. We break above it, and then we come back down. We break above it, and then come back down, and this one really failed. And I thought we'd break above it, come back down, and depending on what we got from CPI, we would either bounce higher or it was just going to crash and burn here, right? And because the CPI is our inflation gauge, that's what the Fed is looking at. So this gives us a real good indication of what the Fed is going to do as far as interest rates. And we have another Fed meeting on December the 13th. So now it is almost unanimous that the Fed, from the market side, that the Fed's not going to do anything. They're not going to raise rates. And so the market is very happy and rally. We've been down so much here. This has been a really heavy market the last several months here. But again, this is when the CPI was released, and I told you guys last week, I said if it's all depending on how the CPI comes out. It came out right there, and I said the CPI is either going to come out, if it comes out cool, meaning lower inflation, then we're going to take off like a rocket, and we did. I said if it comes in line, probably still going to take off like a rocket. If it comes in hot, inflation picks back up again, I said it's probably not going to be that big a deal because we're still much closer to the light at the end of the tunnel as far as Fed raising rates. And I pointed out, I said that we'd probably get a 2x move if we go up versus a 1x if it's a positive report versus a 1x if it's a hot, inflation comes in hot, because the market could kind of shrug that off and go, oh, that was a one-off event. Inflation's been coming down, every month, and now, maybe we get a little hot one. The market would shrug that off. So I thought it wouldn't be that big a deal. And in fact, I said maybe we sell back off to here or here or here. But we don't do one of these spiral out of control things, in my opinion, and we did not. We're up here. So That's great. Pat myself on the back and all that kind of good stuff. It's good when you're right, but you have to take advantage of it when it happens, because we never know what's going to happen with the market, and I'm certainly not always right. But where does that leave us from here? Where do we go? And clearly the path of least resistance is higher. We're above all the moving averages, and everything looks higher. Momentum is to the upside, all that kind of stuff. So where's our next target? And the big picture target is up here, and there's really nothing in between us to get us up there. And that's kind of crazy. Let me put this over to SPX, so we'll kind of look at apples to apples here. So if you see right there, let me take that one off. We are we got a gap right there, and we got really a clear shot up there to 4,600. I told you guys too, if you've been listening for the last, I don't know, several even months, I got long into the end of the year, back down here, and I've been kind of sweating it out, waiting, and luckily I'm long into literally 29 December options in SPX, and now they're coming back to life, and it's looking good and all that kind of stuff, right? And I don't know if it will, I don't know what will happen, but again, the path of least resistance is higher. There is FOMO, which is not good, but we do have that. People are looking at this now going, oh man, the market's up. Well, if you have been looking and paying attention, it's off here from the low to high there. That's 400 points. That's a big move, but people now are calling their broker or going online and going, hey, I'm going to move all my money out of cash and put it back in the market because this market's doing so good, right here. And maybe we do pull back. I don't know. We certainly could, if you notice over here, we're up and away, and then you pull back and you catch your breath for the next run higher. Get a cup of water. You're in the marathon, and then you come back up here, pull back, get a glass of water, and then you're off to the races again, pull back, do this kind of thing. And we certainly could pull back, and this thing, you take the stairs up, and it might take a little while. Guess what? Santa rally coming up pretty soon. There's all kind of things coming up, right? Which, again, indicates that we should go higher. Now, the other side of the coin, you have to look at both sides. We've moved a long way in a short period of time. A lot of these stocks are pretty extended. In fact, if you look at the NASDAQ, you see this prior high here? I mean, we're pretty much there, maybe a little bit more, and we could pull back again, up and down and up and down. You have to 2 steps up and 1 back, and 2 steps up and 1 back, and 2 steps up and 1 back, right? Well, it looks like we've already kind of gotten there in the NASDAQ, and in this case, it looks like the ES is kind of trailing. The other one is the rut. If you look at the rut, look at that monumental move there in the rut, which is a small cap index, right? And this is good. This is very good. What this implies, if this does keep coming, we keep going up and this does come to fruition, that more money is going to come into the market. The market will be more broad-based, a Santa rally and all that kind of stuff. So again, I am looking at this to the upside, and if we have a pullback, especially any meaningful pullback, and I'm talking about, again, I like to trade off these 34 EMAs. If we were to pull all the way back here, I would be a buyer hand over fist right here. I wouldn't try to short it, because outside of some data point or some information that we do not know now, something pops up next week, or Fed says this or that, or whatever. Yeah, sure, absolutely, we could go down. But right now, I'm not seeing it. And again, I'm already long. I've been long since way back here, and again, I took some heat here, so I'm not aggressively adding to longs here, but I think we do continue to go upside, and I don't think you've missed all the move, but the next the last third or half of the move is harder, because again, we are probably a little more likely to kind of do this, the back and forth stuff. Doesn't mean you can't make money. You don't want to get left behind, but you don't want to pay You don't want to pay up and chase this thing anymore. So at this point, I would wait on any kind of pullback. And I'm just looking at the indexes. We could look at individual names, but that's a whole nother topic of discussion. So with that, let me wind it up here. Not as worried about the market as I have been over the last couple of months with all this, because when we were down here below all these moving averages, it was looking pretty dicey. But again, that being said, always plan your trades and think them through ahead of time. Have your trade management plan in place. Know what you're risking and that type thing. And if I can help you with that, or any of us here at Simpler Trading, come join us in the trading rooms. I'm in the main room 3 times a week, and I'm in the bias room, which is a portfolio that I manage there. I'm in there every day. So let me know if I can help. So thanks for the time, guys. I appreciate it. And I'll see you next week right ahead of Thanksgiving, and we'll see what it looks like. And just by the way, I think we could get up again on SPX. Maybe this is wishful thinking, but I think we could actually hit this by next week. It's 4,600 by next week. We're not that far away. We're 100 points away, and we've moved 400 points in a very short period of time. So I think we could get up there by next week. We'll see. And I'll update you guys next week. So thanks for your time. I appreciate it, and talk to you soon. Take care.
Without Simpler Trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency. It's one of the things that won me